I'm Corey Harding-Keizs of CHK Real Estate here in Port Credit, Mississauga. Today I'm sitting down with Grace, the creative force behind Amazing Graze, a brand that's about so much more than beautiful styled food. It's about connection, bringing people together, and creating meaningful moments. I can't wait to dive into her story, what inspired her to plant roots here in Port Credit, what this community means to her, and how she's building something that feels both intentional and deeply local. How did this come to be? How did Amazing Graze start?
Well, early on, I had the children, and I was working odd jobs with my husband who had a career, and I was dabbling in so many things. I knew I had a creative inside, I just didn't know where that came from. I started off with my cupcake business.
I did not know that you had a cupcake business.
I did. It was called Amazing Graze Cupcakes, actually. And I just started doing that as a side. I'd worked in bakery for so many years doing catering. So I dabbled in all of that creative stuff, in flowers and taking courses and working. Having the third baby was a surprise. So I kind of had to step back a little bit, and a lot of doors closed for me. It was going so great. And then I'm oh, third baby, and you have to adjust, right? And then it just started up again. And I met the chef. We were doing grazing tables, but dessert grazing tables. Literally dessert grazing tables. Yeah. And this is 20 years ago now, I would have to say.
So for cupcakes to dessert grazing.
Yes, and events. And then I had to step back because I got hit with cancer.
Okay.
So that was going to be my full-time job for the next 4 or 5 years.
Got goosebumps.
Yeah. So imagine starting this business is so successful. I'm heading in the right direction, and then bang, 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 all these things are happening. Life gets in the way, and then your family, your health is all first. And I maybe think that I needed to go through all of that in order to survive this, to get to here. I feel if I didn't have all those ebbs and flows in my life, and I wouldn't have got to this space. But going back to when this, the moment, the actual moment.
I met you pre-pandemic, right before.
We were in this a community event, right?
Yeah, I had you for a community event. It was right before the pandemic. I had heard about this amazing charcuterie artist, and I had you do something for me. And that's where I first connected with you, and I saw, what this was all about, and I was just so amazed. And then, then the pandemic happened.
Yeah. Well, it actually started when I first actually launched the business. It was at the Southside Shuffle.
Okay.
But prior to this, I had already been doing this out of the church basement of my parish. And I was helping the church. My son was getting confirmed that year, and I thought, you know what, this was after cancer, and I'm what am I gonna do with myself? I need to have something. I need to do something. I need to feel something
creative,
and I'm how do I get back into this? So I started baking again for the church. Our priest came over to me and said, hey, you want to help us out with some one of these parishioner evenings or whatever? And I said, yeah, I have a really great idea. Let's do a wine and cheese night. Have you ever done that? And he's oh my gosh, I love that idea. So that's when it launched.
Okay.
But the moment that Amazing Graze was born was shortly after that big graze that I had done for the church. But one of our parishioners lost her daughter that worked in the church. She was very young, and she was in a fatal accident. And the parents came to me and said, we came to that beautiful night, and we really want to do a celebration of life. And my daughter's never going to have a wedding. She's never going to have a baby shower. She'll never have a retirement. And I want you to create something so beautiful that we could send her off with. And I'm oh my God, what am I going to do? I'd already been grazing, but it was born that day.
Yes. The experience.
What I did that day was I'm going to do this with all my passion and all my heart, and friends and family that were helping me couldn't understand this was a paintbrush, and I'm just give me that bag, just give me this, and I created this beautiful moment. And I just remember them walking in, and they just looked at me, and they just said you did this.
Yeah.
And that's when I have to say Amazing Graze was born, because that's when the grazing started to happen, the things that you put together and what looks
much
good
more than
board.
just charcuterie or whatnot. You're an artist. right? Like what you do is like I've never seen anyone do it like you, and you create these experiences and that bring people together and tables together and community and make an impact, right? Like all those things.
Well, food is community.
It sure
like,
is.
Where there's food, there's community, and that's what I wanted this place to be. Was you came in here, people treat this like their house. Like that's what I wanted it to feel like. I wanted it to feel like you were walking into Grace's kitchen,
which is exactly how it feels. And then the boxes that you were doing, and those really took off. So you had the charcuterie boxes, and I know during the pandemic, those like really became popular for you.
That's right.
Segment of the business before you actually had your own place.
So after coming out of the basement of the church, I'm like, this is going somewhere. I just like that summer, I was doing a lot of celebration of lives. Like the event portion started happening more and more, and I was getting more experiences, creating more packages. And I'm like, this could really be something. Like, I really think I should continue with this. And then like we said, I had to find another space. So I went into the basement of my home. And my husband literally, like, he's a plumber. So he created this space for me down there where it was just going to be me. And then pandemic happened. And so when I was telling you about the boxes, that was just it. It was just like, once the boxes started going out there, we were probably doing like 250 boxes a week.
Well, they were amazing and they still are, right? Like you're going to someone's event, you want to bring something with you. You're going to the cottage.
Yes.
You want to like show up with something. Right. You have the box, the charcuterie box with all the things in it.
Right. And that's how all the boxes are born.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the demand of the client? Like they want a weekend box. So we like created a weekend box, like then we'd have like the getaway box and the breakfast box. And, that was really like the highlight of that business at home.
And how did you know when it was time to get your own place, right? Your own space. And then, yes, as we know, you had a space in Lakeview, and then you've been here for
since June.
Since June of 2025.
Well, we took possession like a year and a half, over a year and a half ago. But like we opened in June of this like past year.
And but how did you know it was time? The business.
You want the real truth?
I want the real
truth.
The
raw real truth? I'll tell you the raw real truth. And you know what? It's crazy because I don't know that many people know about this.
Okay.
And I felt like there was going to be a time where this story could like be told. And I'm feeling that today actually, because it's the raw truth. And that moment that this happened, I realized at that moment that this was something bigger.
Yeah.
Something more. And I'll tell you what happened. So it was Valentine's week. I had just stopped orders. We got the news that my brother-in-law was very, very ill. And during COVID, we couldn't see each other, right? Also, too, all in the same week, my little baby cousin had passed away.
Oh, my goodness.
So just imagine this. I'm like sold out for Valentine's Day. People have pre-ordered.
These are all your online orders.
Online orders. We're still kind of going through that COVID where the pickup was, on the table at home.
I remember coming to your house to pick up things up.
Okay. So you being the client, where would you pick up?
Your front door.
But where? On a table? On the floor?
Like no,
where?
On a table. You had the thing set up.
Where was my front porch,
you had it all decorated.
My window.
Yes.
Like it was my window, right? Yeah. There was a pump there. There was sanitary. Yeah. Sometimes in the summertime, you'd see packs of ice and your order was out there on top in a cooler where you just were like, and through the window, it'd be like, hey, Corey, like, right? Yeah. So anyways, my orders were shut down completely. And I know that for a fact, 100%, because I wasn't taking any orders. And I had 67 orders that week, and I had shut them down. I had emailed each and every client and told them, this is what I'm going through right now.
Why'd you get shut down?
Because someone made a false claim that they had picked up an order from the floor of my garage.
Which is obviously not true.
Which is obviously not true because
so this happened and all of a sudden you had to like cancel these orders.
This was prior to that.
Okay.
I had already canceled orders, right? My brother-in-law fell sick. I knew that upcoming I had to deal with my brother-in-law. And just at the same time, my cousin had passed.
Oh my God.
Then the
A lot
next
at
day,
once.
while we're at the hospital, and I've already closed down orders now for like 2 weeks.
This happens.
And my daughter gets a knock on the door, and it's not like I was hiding. I had a big sign outside, Amazing Graze.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people knew, my neighbors knew, like, and they just health inspection. You know, like, is she running a business out of here, and so on and so forth. And my daughter's like, yes, it's Amazing Graze. Like, don't you know? Like, you know, and he said, well, she can no longer like run a business out of here. And I tell you, Corey, I feel like my life fell apart.
Yeah.
I get this call, and then by my like brother-in-law's bedside. How selfish of a person to put a claim that was so untrue because I didn't accept any orders on February 8th. I'll tell you why, because on February 4th, we had closed orders.
Yeah.
So what order?
So it was like an untrue complaint that was put in to sabotage what you were doing. But that also was probably a moment of pivot.
Yes.
What happens next?
Oh my God.
And
I'm
everything
like, wait,
happens for a reason.
I dotted every I. I crossed
Yeah.
every T. I have insurance. I have like
I'm doing everything right.
I have 666
Doesn't make
down here.
sense.
Like, come in my house. Come and see this. Like, you'll see that I'm like fully like open and running like well. Like,
This is when you knew
I was
needed to
like,
get your own
okay,
space.
someone else wants this.
Yeah.
There is a demand
Yeah.
for this.
What you're doing.
And what am I going to do? And I just remember my friend telling me, she's like, you know what, Grace? You're a phoenix and you're going to rise from this.
Absolutely.
I was dead, Corey. Like, this put me to the ground. Like, I was like, then my brother-in-law passed away. My little cousin passed away. I'm dealing with like 2 funerals. And I'm like, how am I going to relaunch my business? I could never come back from this. Like, how could I, you know, I can't afford to go out there. And then you came into my life before that. But still, like, I'm like, we got to find something. Corey knows Poor Credit the best. And we need to figure this out.
And that's when we did the lake.
A year to the day I opened my doors to the first.
I did not know that. I didn't know it was the year.
And that's the true story. Year to the day, February 11th, that's when I opened my doors at the place. I didn't even realize we opened the doors, and I was like halfway through the day, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
oh my God, it's a year today that I literally got on my knees in that basement, in that kitchen, and I said, God, if this is what you want for me,
I'm here for it.
then I'm here for it. So just bring it on.
And I believe things happen for a reason, even though we don't understand in the moment. When you got shut down and it was like, why is this happening? I have all these other life of things that are happening at the same time. How am I going to get through this? The universe had other plans for you. So it actually opened another door for you to rise and elevate.
Yeah.
And create even bigger impact within the community and the people that you love and such, right? Which brings us to where you first opened up,
Yeah.
to then evolving and knowing that you always wanted to be in the heart of Port Credit. Even when we secured that spot, you knew it was only temporary.
That spot always felt temporary for
Yeah.
me. Like, it always felt like this is just a stepping stone, right? This is a place where I need to figure out and pivot, because I wasn't going to jump into this business and literally like destroy everything that I created. Like, I wanted to do it step by step. I wanted to know what worked, what was the client like wanting, what could I give the client that no one else can give.
And that's what makes you so different, because you're not just doing like grazing tables. You are kind of like an event planner as well.
Yeah.
Like I've used you at my milestone events, and it's like you do so much more than just creating like a grazing table or picking up a box or whatnot. Like you create experiences for people to have connection and like create community. And I know you're like a proud local Mississauga resident, right?
I am.
You are.
I am.
And
Grew up
I know
here.
community is important to you. Why did you choose, and why did you want to be in the heart of Port Credit?
This is where I grew up. I worked in several restaurants here.
Yeah.
I went to high school here. Like, my stomping grounds were just, down the street.
It's all here.
My church was here. Just everything. My community was here. It's funny how like things kind of like pull you back to your roots. And I just felt like people knew me here.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't like physically have like a brick and mortar here, I was still involved in the community well before like having an
Well, that's
actual
how I
brick and
met you,
mortar. Yes,
right? Like,
yes.
I mean, we've done so many community events together. You're involved in so many community events, like up until like still present day, right? Like that. Talk to me about that. Like, what does community mean to you? and your involvement in community.
Listen, I don't know about anyone else who's in this community. I know several people that feel the same way, but for me, when you're in a community, like you're not just a building. Your door is open to no matter what. Like,
absolutely.
Like if you ever came to me and said like you need something, like I that's what community is. Like we got to help one another.
Yeah, lean on each other.
Collaborate,
build connection.
Build. I feel like that's what this place is. So you can come in here, stop for a minute.
Have great food.
Have great food.
My husband loves your like sandwich and soup.
Oh, good. Well, that's like a staple. So
sandwich.
everything in here is a little staple of every kind of like moment in my life. So there's always a backstory to something, like why chocolate dipped strawberries, or why the sandwich, or why the box. Like there's always like a hint of grace in there, like for a reason. I love old vintage, like grew up on different cookies and stuff my mom used to make. So like
it all means something. It comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I love that, when I had you do my 20th anniversary in real estate event, a champagne chandelier, and 20 years, and you literally brought chandeliers into the venue.
I did.
Right? And it's, like it's not just like doing food or what, you did it, you made it beautiful.
Yeah, right? I feel like that was a part of like the events that pivoted for me at the other place, whereas I was able to close the doors whenever I could and work on those events because I had this space. I had the decor there, and that's where you collaborate with other businesses, and that's how you meet other businesses, and and that's how you bring people together, and then you learn your vendors and you make these relationships and build businesses, like have people on our shelves here that are small businesses that
I love that you're supporting other businesses within your business.
Yes, that's the whole purpose of helping one another. I can't do everything, but I love to specialize in the things that I can execute properly.
Yeah. When you look ahead and all you've created so far, what's next for Amazing Graze?
I don't know. I feel like this year is a year of calmness for me. I feel like I'm heading, or we're heading in a really good direction. Like I feel like our team has turned a corner this year. We have such a great rotation. My team, like I would be nothing without my team. And I'm so grateful. What I see now is that now that we have built this platform and foundation, I feel like people and clients are coming to me and saying, when are you available?
Right.
And that was something that was a goal for me, was that I was just on every date and trying to figure out like, how could I manage all of this? But now I feel like I can work a schedule.
And you have a team to support
and
you,
a team
right?
to support
so you can scale.
So I can scale, but I can also focus on my passion projects and where it really means most.
What is one of your passion projects?
I can't tell you.
Okay, I don't know if you could or you couldn't. If
I'm kidding. No, one of my passion projects would be to be like this patio.
Yes, we've talked about this.
To build like a sandwich window, to like a coffee window, and have like an extra space. I think that having these events this year and having a tent out there allowed me to see like what the potential could be for this place.
You did my birthday here.
Yes, but that was always a plan, was to have like private, smaller events where you could be intimate with, your friends, your colleagues, whatever, and have that space. But also my passion project to be supper clubs, right?
Yes.
In a sense where I don't love calling them that. I feel like food experiences are more of the aim I'm going for, and it's very intimate and small. And
I've experienced it because my birthday we did a supper club, event experience with food and conversation, and I love that.
But you allowed me creative freedom
and bringing people to the table to conversate and communicate and have beautiful food over that. I love that so much.
That made me so happy. Like, I look at that video often just for some inspiration because
beautiful.
I'm like, that is
Perfect.
something I really wanted to
Thank you for putting
anchor
that together
here.
and
Like,
being available to do that.
Yeah, that was great.
But I love your idea about the space, the outdoor space. I think, when you did your launch party here, I remember you had, that event, and that was beautiful. And that's when I really saw the potential for that space.
It was crazy because like walking into here did not look like this.
No,
but
I remember.
And I just remember like the year of being like, again, remember those doors closing? Why are these doors closing? Like, why isn't things happening? Why aren't we moving forward? And it was that space to leave me space to like go back to Italy and be with my dad, who I lost in June. But wow, did I ever get a sense of like, you know how you say like, when did Amazing Graze, when was it born? Was that moment? But going to Italy and actually like feeling, seeing, tasting, like really paying attention and learning about my dad. Because we had been estranged for 32 years. And my dad was like, once he knew like what I did, he took me to every salami shop. He took me to every mozzarella place to see like how it was made. I mean, how could I ever get the moment of like thinking I'm on a mountain?
Yeah.
And we're driving up this mountain and there's like cheesemongers like right there. Like we're tasting cheese that like that sheep just, like it was just insane. Like I came back with a different purpose. And when I walked back in here after like it felt right. And then that's when like, all the cornetti started to come and all more Italian products and more of an appreciation of like meats and cheeses and all of that, right?
Things.
Like, so, and I feel like that education is important, is to keep up with all of those things. But for me, I'm visual. I need to taste, try, like
experience.
Ask me to remember a cheese sometimes, like, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you the ingredients in it, like, or what it tastes like.
That was important that you did that. And I'm glad that you took that away from that experience and got to sit with your dad and be with your dad and spend that time with him. When people think of Amazing Graze, what does your business speak to? If you had to summarize it in like, think of me for like, of course, events and
Yeah, and I mean, big or small, like there's something here for everyone. We have the cafe open like Thursday through Sunday when we can.
Sunday, the doors are
and the
open,
reason why is because Monday we definitely need a day off, and then Tuesday and Wednesday we're consulting, we're doing other events, we're focusing on emails and things that we can't do when the place, like when the shop is open. So we still want to give a little bit to the community, but also this is a space where we work in. We created this space so like when the doors were closed, I'm doing flowers or I'm doing like other things, and I can't do things that I can do in the back.
People look at you like to come in for the shop. I'm going to come here, have lunch, but I'm also, I have an event that I, need assistance with.
Well, we do everything.
And people can come to you with the idea and you can launch it, right? Like it's not.
I just need one idea, one vision, and that's what we sit down with.
And that's where the creative comes from, right?
Yes, exactly. And we can help with everything. And what I want people to remember now is before people would kind of come to me last after all of their other things were aligned. They don't need to do that anymore.
You're like a one-stop shop.
We are a one-stop shop.
Like I could literally, and I know this, call you to create like an event and say like, it's going to be on this day. This is what I'm thinking. This is kind of the budget. And I need these things brought in, like, and you're going to make it happen.
Done, done, done. Yeah, that's exactly us. We also wanted to open this space so people could feel and taste and, really experience like on a daily basis, like our quality. And, I was just a mama, like with a small dream. I had like $56 in the bank from Amazing Graze cupcakes. And I'm like, with this $56,
oh my God,
I'm going to start this business.
Yes. Right. Based on heart and passion and belief and knowing that there was more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then having yourself shut down, knowing there's more, that you've grown to this because of those experiences.
Grit. It takes a lot of grit. In the food business, it's difficult. People don't really see what happens behind the scenes, like what the actual logistics is behind doing an event. And we try to highlight a lot of that as best as we can to give everyone the understanding experience that, sometimes we have to be closed.
You have to, right?
Because I'm focusing on an event that maybe one day it would be for you. And you will see that, when you get Amazing Graze, you get the team, and we are focused mainly on like your thing, like your event, your important
So somebody
milestone.
can come to you with an idea and you can take the idea from there and put the creative on it spin on it
Yeah.
and bring it to reality.
Yes. It all depends on what the event is. Yeah, we can do we've done almost like a lot of things in the last couple of years.
What has been your most memorable event, like recently, that you're like, oh gosh, this one last year really knocked it out of the park. Like I'm so proud of it, made an impact, it made a difference. I'm sure you probably have like so many of them.
So many. Like here, out there, like I take a lot away from each event. I have a lot of favorites, but the 2 events I had here in the space were probably my most memorable for that, because it was something that I'd been creating for a long time. And like 2 of my wonderful friends were able to do those 2 events here too, right?
Nice.
So I would have to say that those are, and again, it's the community bringing back, like using you and coming back and saying, like, this is your dream. This is what you want. Now I've got something. I have an event. Like, you do it. You handle it, right?
There's events where you're making a difference in people's lives. Like the one that you said when they came in and they're like, wow, you created this, right? Like it's more than just hosting an event and setting things up. Like you're putting you're all into everything that you're creating, right?
When I'm creating like an event or a table, people are like, what's in your head? Like what do you source? Like, what do you think about it all day long? And I'm like, I eat, breathe, and live it. Like if you say I have an event,
passion.
This is the color, this is the, I want everybody to see it and live it and breathe it, because that's the outcome. That's the, like, when you walk in, I want people, is that really, like, is that a salami or is that a flower? Like, but also have the quality and taste good. And walk away saying, okay, that was some of the best food I had, or that was created like that way, or I can't believe it. I love that. I love that because I feel like I've done my job. I don't even call it a job. Like, it's not a job for me. Like the hard nights, all that is hard. All the labor, that's hard. But when actually executing it, and when we're like, our team just walks away and we're like, oh my God, we did it.
Felt
like,
good.
oh, that feels so good. Like having the client happy, whether it's big, small, it doesn't matter, coming in for a sandwich or biscotti or anything. We want it always to feel like we did our absolute best to make you happy when you walk out the door.
And I think that is definitely the feeling and vibe when you come in here. Right?
So that's everything to us, like totally.
You know, you're creating such an impact on our community. It's conversations like this that just, touch like my heart so much. And I want to ask you, what keeps you rooted here in Port Credit?
Honestly, it is this like community. When like just the cheerleaders we have here, and people that support local here, and it really is massive. When I opened here, like the support and the calls and the messages, and sometimes you're like, oh my God, it's taking so long, but people were cheering us on, like, we can't wait till you're open, we're so excited. That was what we wanted to create here. So for that, it's the community here. Like that's why I wanted to.
It's a special community.
Yeah, like I live here. Like I live in this space like every day. So to me, this is like my home, our home when we're working here. Like this is my family. Like my team is my family. So they're stuck here. They don't have a choice. No, I'm kidding.
I love that. You're bringing people to the table. And it's one of the things I love most about you, with the experiences and community impact and connection and collaboration. Like you've done many events together, and
I try to
created a
fit in
friendship
where,
over, within that. And I care about you deeply, and I'm just so happy for you.
Thank you so much, and I'm so happy for you. Like,
we're excited to be here today.
Like you're a part of this too. You really did create a foundation here. You built relationships, and like, thank you, right?
Oh,
yeah. And so I think that's where we connect. Is that you've watched me grow.
Yes,
we've watched each other grow.
We have. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, gosh, I've known Grace a long time, and it started here, and then I brought her to this event, or had you do this event, and then went through the pandemic together, and then the 2 spaces, and then it's just evolved. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is. And thank you for sharing that with us and having this today. Like, this is a blessing, and I'm humbled by it, and thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome, my friend. Grace, where can people find you?
We are at 94 Lakeshore Road East in Port Credit, and you can find us at Amazing Graze 19 on Instagram and follow all our socials there.
And your hours are?
From Thursday to Sunday, and we're open. Well, they vary. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see we have updates all the time. So sometimes we're open at 9, sometimes we're open earlier, but honestly, we never turn away a customer. So if we knock on the door at 7 a.m. and we're here, come by for a coffee.
And your website is?
AmazingGraze.ca.
This is why I believe where we live matters, because community isn't built by buildings, it's built by people. And when we choose to support local, to gather around a table, to know our neighbors, that's when a place truly becomes a home.